Does it smell good? Are you really gonna eat it? Or licking your lips, huh? This? Hello, vintage neighbors. Welcome to the Vintage Girl Next Door. My name is Laci. Today we are in the kitchen and we're testing out a vintage gadget. I have recently acquired this West Bend 1950s popcorn popper. So I thought it would be fun to test out this gadget for you. I found it at an antique mall. I paid $35 for it, which is a little bit more than I typically spend on my vintage gadgets, but it's in great shape and I thought it would be a really fun one to test out. Many of you know I actually manage a movie theater for my full-time job, and so you could say I know my way around a popcorn popper. Of course, none like this and not a vintage one like this, so I'm excited to test it out for you. And I also thought it would be fun, since it is October, the month of all the spooky things, to give you a little list of my top favorite vintage Halloween or horror movies to go with our popcorn once it is ready. Before we jump into testing the gadget, I wanted to thank Disney Emoji Blitz for sponsoring this video. Disney Emoji Blitz is unlike any other Match 3 game because you get to collect the emojis as you go. As you level up and earn points, then you earn the different emojis. You get to add them to your keyboard. You get to use them to text to your friends. This game is so addicting, you guys. I love it. I'm so excited. Of course, right now, spooky time, I'm loving the villain emojis. They are so fun. One of my favorites right now is the Queen of Hearts. You can battle against her to try to win. You can use her and do the painting the roses red thing. It's fun to collect all the emojis. Also, the different foods in the park. You can collect Disney pretzel, Disney churro, all of the things Disney. Last time I worked with them, I did a little sweepstakes and it was so much fun to give a little prize to one of you, and so we're doing that again. So to enter, you're going to want to use my link in the description, download Disney Emoji Blitz. This time we're getting to level 20, screenshot that and send it to me. So up for grabs, if you remember, are some amazing holiday brooches from Lipstick and Chrome. Also, the vintage 1950s Better Homes and Gardens salad cookbook, and I'm giving away a $25 gift card to Unique Vintage. It is a reproduction vintage company. They sell clothing and accessories and all the fun things. So do not hesitate. Let's do this. Let's play Disney Emoji Blitz. I would love for you to enter to win in this fun sweepstakes and play this fun game with me. Let's get into it. Let's test out this gadget. Let's pop some popcorn and let's talk about some vintage horror movies. Let's take a closer look at this gadget. First of all, it is in very good shape. This glass piece, super nice, polished up very nicely, polished aluminum, and the lid comes off. Here is the kettle part, and then there is underneath the heating element. It does turn on. I plugged it in just to test it out. So it has the cord. The cord's in really good shape, and so is the heating element. Unfortunately, it did not come with the instruction booklet. However, like I mentioned before, I have popped a fair amount of popcorn in my day working at the movie theater for, we'll just say a really, really, really long time. So we're kind of winging it a little bit, but I feel like it's going to be just fine. So I'm going to use coconut oil today, and I've got my seed We'll do coconut oil and the seed, and then I'll probably give it a little bit of salt and butter at the end once it is popped. So let's get it started. I started out with 3 tablespoons of coconut oil. I mean, give or take. 3-ish. And now I am plugging it in. We're going to get that oil melted. You can see the burner is getting hot. Yay! I'm going to melt that oil a little bit. And then I'm adding in 1/2 cup of my popcorn seed. I wanted to make sure the oil was melted enough before so that I could mix it well with the seed. I'm just kind of swish it around, get the seeds nice and coated in the oil. And now put the lid on tightly and we wait. I hear it sizzling. I could hear it starting to pop. So exciting. I love those sounds of the popping popcorn. And you can start to see in the glass little lid. You could see it popping. And the steam coming out. And it smells really good too. Was hot to the touch. Ah! Oh my goodness, it looks so good. You guys, look at this lovely kettle of popcorn. Okay, I think I should probably take it off the heat. I unplugged it, but look, yay. Look at that. It's beautiful. You guys, we have a winner. Look at how perfectly it popped. I am going to pour it in this Pyrex bowl so that I can season it a little more, I think. Some pieces on the bottom there got a little burned, it looks like. Shoot. I think it was perfect when I first unplugged it, and I should have immediately removed it from the heat. That was my fault. Okay, I'm gonna pick out the burn ones because the top part of it is still good, I think. But there's like hardly any kernels left. It was almost a near perfect batch, I would say. So all I did was I just put coconut oil and the popcorn, so it's gonna be pretty bland. I'm gonna taste it as is, and then I'm gonna season it with some salt and butter, and then taste it again. It's good. It's really good popcorn, you guys. I am what you may call a popcorn connoisseur. And it's good. It looks really good. There was hardly any unpopped kernels in the bottom, which is great. And if I would have taken it off the heat immediately, it would have been perfectly popped, I think. Every kernel popped, but not burned. Like, we were so close. Okay, I melted a little bit of butter and I've got my sea salt. Let's season it up a little bit. I could probably do even more butter if you like more butter. I just did a couple of tablespoons for now. It smells really good. I love the smell of popcorn. This is good popcorn. Okay, listen. I work at a movie theater. My bar for popcorn is very high, and this is by far the best popcorn I've made at home ever. Like, for sure. 100 times better than microwave popcorn. Oh my goodness. Yes, 100 times better. Way better than air pop popcorn. We have a winner on our hands, folks, I think. I'm excited about this gadget. Yes. Now I can't stop eating it. Help. Let's take our bowl of popcorn. Let's go in the living room. I'm going to talk about my favorite vintage horror movies, and we're gonna give a final rating to our gadget, which I think you could maybe guess by now, but let's talk about it. As you may have noticed, the gadget was a success. It made a beautiful bowl of popcorn. It is delicious. I am quite pleased. So before we get into the rating of the gadget, let's talk vintage horror movies. So it's so hard. You know how much I love movies. It's so hard to narrow it down. So I'm just giving you 5 that I love. It was so hard to choose. There's tons I'm leaving out. I know there's more that are so good and worth watching. So don't be offended if I left out one of your favorites. Drop it in the comments, and I'm sure I agree, and I would love to compile a list, and maybe there's something I haven't seen. So let us know, what is your favorite vintage horror movie? So I had to narrow it down. So I'm only going 1960s and back. So like mid-60s and back. Anything newer than that is not included on this list. We're just talking mid-century and earlier horror movies. I can't stop eating the popcorn. These are in no particular order. These are just some that I love. Let's get into it. First of all, gotta go with Creature from the Black Lagoon. That one came out in 1954, starring Julie Adams, and there's so many things about it that I love. I love the moodiness of it. I love the lighting. They do a really good job of suspense and interesting lighting. The creature suit is amazing, like 1954, you guys, and it is so detailed and so cool. Love it. All of Julie Adams' outfits, of course, are so cute. Her bathing suit, so cute. Also, if you are interested, I did read a really good book on the creature suit itself, and it is called The Lady from the Black Lagoon. It is about a woman named Millicent Patrick who worked on the creature suit, primarily on the creature suit, and unfortunately did not get the credit that she deserved for her work. If I can find it on Amazon, I will link it for you in the description. It's a good one to check out if you are interested. Okay, next up is technically past 1965. It came out in 1968, and it is The Night of the Living Dead. George A. Romero, zombies. Guys, I love it. It's so good, so creepy. It's so much fun to watch. That one is always a fun one. I usually end up watching it at least every other year, if not every year. So yeah, Night of the Living Dead, George A. Romero, on the list for sure. Next one is The Birds. It came out in 1963, directed by Mr. Alfred Hitchcock, and it's starring Tippi Hedren. This one, you guys, it has such a sense of dread in it that I love. I'm a horror movie fan. I love this kind of thing, and this one gets me. It is very ominous. The effects with the birds are awesome, and the whole thing, like just the chaos of it, kind of like panic moments in it are so good. This one, yeah, I usually watch this one about every other year as well. Also, House on Haunted Hill. It came out in 1959, starring Vincent Price. This one's just a fun one, you guys. Don't judge it by the remake. It was remade in 1999, had some heavy metal soundtrack, and no, don't judge it by that one. Watch the original 1959 with Vincent Price. He is the master of horror. He has such a good voice, such a good charisma and creepiness about him. I love it. It's a fun story, also has some very memorable moments involving a skeleton and also involving a creepy, like, witch lady. If you know, you know. That one's always a fun Halloween choice. And last on the list, even though there's so many more, last one I'll mention is Rear Window. Came out in 1954, Alfred Hitchcock yet again, starring the ever so glamorous Grace Kelly and Jimmy Stewart. And first of all, the wardrobe. Grace Kelly's outfits in this movie, you guys, I can't get over it. They are iconic, some of the best. She is iconic in this movie, so beautiful. Some really good dialogue in this one. A lot of good back and forth with her and Jimmy Stewart. So yeah, I would recommend all of these. Give them a watch this spooky season. You will not regret it. So much fun. I also recreated a look from Rear Window. I will show you. It was so much fun. I found the perfect dress and that was a fun one to do. All right. Without further ado, let us rate this gadget. We popped the popcorn. It worked like a dream. Listen, the best at-home popcorn I've ever made, for sure. And that's even with, you saw the bottom part got a little burned. It did not ruin the rest of the batch. However, sometimes that does happen where you burn a little bit and then all of it just tastes burned. That did not happen. Thank goodness I pulled it soon enough for that. So, let's rate it. Efficiency. Did it do what it said it was gonna do? Did it do it well? I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna give this one a 5 out of 5. It worked like a charm. I did not have the instruction booklet. I was totally winging it. I mean, as much as I can be winging it when I've been popping popcorn for like 20 years at the movie theater. As far as that machine itself goes, the gadget itself, I did not have the precise instructions, measurements. Went off of what I know, and it worked like a dream. Even just with the plain coconut oil and no salt, it was still very tasty popcorn. It still smelled really good when it was popping. It only took about 10 to 15 minutes all total, and I had a huge batch of popcorn, so I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. It seems like a pretty easy cleanup because the part lifts right off the burner. I can wash it out, no problem. And our second rating is for aesthetics. Is it pleasing to the eye? Does it look cute? Does it look kitschy? Is it mid-century, atomic, something like that, 1950s? I'm gonna say yeah, it's very cool. I love the little black like pedestal legs that it sits on. The glass top on the lid is very cute, and you can see the popcorn popping inside, which is cool as well. And there's a little starburst on that top, so I'm all about that. Could it be cooler? Could it look like a UFO? I mean, sure, that would be ideal. But as is, I'm gonna give it a 4.5. It's very shiny, very space agey, and it worked great. So 2 thumbs up. Would recommend this gadget, absolutely. As long as your cord is good and intact and it's safe to use, I say go for it. That's it for this video, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you watch so many wonderful vintage scary movies this spooky season, and let me know your favorites in the comments. I would love to hear from my vintage neighbors. What are you watching this October? Can't wait to hear from you. Don't forget, use my link below, download Disney Emoji Blitz. You can enter in my sweepstakes to win some fun prizes. All the info you need is going to be in the description box. If you are new and you have not subscribed already, please do so. I would love to have you stick around the vintage neighborhood for more of our vintage fun. Thank you all so much for being here, and I hope that wherever you are in the world, you are feeling safe and feeling loved, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!